Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Coffee with Quha webinar about Quha Dwell. So I'm Jussi Kujanpää, and with me here is Tapio Koivuniemi.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me here.
Yes, so Tapio is managing the team who developed Quha Dwell. So he has really good knowledge about it. So if you have any questions about Quha Dwell, so I think Tapio will be the correct person to answer it. But if there are so difficult questions that even Tapio can't answer, we have also Janne Myöhänen online. Janne is working on Tapio's team. So
yes, Janne is the software guy that is responsible. So if there's really technical question, then I will hand over to Janne. But I hope I can manage.
Okay, good. So at first, I want to mention that we will record this webinar, and so we will publish a summary of this webinar later on YouTube. But don't worry, we will not show any of your faces, just me and Tapio will be shown. And if you have any questions during the webinar, so please don't hesitate to interrupt us. So I think this is supposed to be a kind of conversational webinar that you can ask your questions whenever you have something on your mind. And also you can send those questions if you want by email to webinar@quha.com address. Okay, but Tapio, maybe you could start by briefly explaining what is Quha Dwell and why it is different and of course better compared to any other Dwell software available on the market. And maybe you want to demonstrate it.
Yeah, I guess that it's easier to demonstrate it. So I will take it up here. So first of all, it's the usage of Quha Dwell is completely different from other Dwell clicking software. So we instead of going to like a static window and select the action you want to do, the window is dynamic and it opens in the place where you want to make a click or whatever event you want to make. So I will showcase it here. So first I will take it up, and then when you move it the cursor around, you see when I stand still, there's a window popping up. And when, for example, I want to click this, I will go selection list and select the action I want to do. For example, double click here. It will open the software. And you can configure this menu to be bigger, wider, or shorter if you want. So you can completely configure this according to your own preferences and what you want to use. For example, softwares, if you want to start a browser, you can add the browser, start here. You can start email, keyboard, switch the program, and all these kind of features. So really lots of configuration. You can configure it according to your own taste, your own knowledge how to use it and experience. So that there's lots of things that we have thought about it, and hopefully it will match most of the users. And that's I guess that shortly. I can talk lots of things, but this is shortly.
Okay. And what about compatibility? So which systems are supported by Quha Dwell?
Yeah, this is only for Windows currently. So I'm running here Windows 11. So it's for Windows 11. It works there really well. Windows 10 is the actual operating system that we started the development, but it also works on Windows 8. We have tested it also with the Windows 7 if you are running really old computer. So I hope that you will anyway upgrade, but it works there, but it's not perfect. So that you need to do some work to get it work well there. But it works, but hopefully you will update it. Anyway, Windows 7 is really old.
Yes. Okay. And then this one question. So Quha Dwell, is it only to be used with Quha Zono and Zono 2 mice? Or can it be used with any mouse?
Yeah, it can. So of course, if you want to use it with other assistive mouses or anything, you can use it. But we have tried to talk about the features according to your mouse, but of course it works with other. So there's no problem to use it with other assistive mouses either. But
Okay. Then maybe can we take a look at how to take Quha Dwell in use? So what are the most important settings to look at the settings menu when setting up Quha Dwell for a new user for first time?
Okay, yeah, I will open the settings here. So settings is there in the taskbar, and basically after the install, only important thing for you to set it up is the speed. So this is the most important thing. So if the user is like a first time user or not that experienced, then the slower speed might be the best option. But if you are advanced user and get used already the Zono and all this, then I guess that the fast is better. But for example, me, I have it there. The fastest setting is not that good for me. Okay. but I like it because I will explain all the time and all things. Then it's easier that it's not that fast. And if you are really want to do advanced settings, then you can click here to tune it to your own taste. But this is the most important thing. And then of course the settings for the clicking, so that what kind of features you want to use. Okay.
What about now we can see that cyan crosshair on the screen. How can you turn it on and off? Yeah.
So for me, this is the crosshair is there when you move the mouse. You can see that it displays it, and when you hold still, then it goes away. There's a pointer setting here, and this is the place you want. For example, if I don't want to show it at all, then it's here. There's no crosshair at all. Moving means that when you move the cursor, then it fades away. And then always it will be always on. And if you are a user that you have, for example, some problems with the eyes, you cannot see that well on the display or whatever, you can use the pointer image. So you see the cross there, so it's easier to find where you are. But if you also want to, if you you have problems to actually understand what's on the screen, or you lost the focus easily, then there's an option to use it to animation also. So it's okay. It shows where you are, and then of course you can change the size also, bigger, smaller. So okay. So you don't lose the.
So there are many options, not to have any crosshair at all, or then it's more visible.
Yeah, and then there's also like a lines, how thick those are, transparency, colors, and all this. So okay. There's lots of maybe too much even, but there's options to tune it for your own taste and use it. So that's the most important thing. So don't. Even though that there are lots of different variations, what you can do, the setting up is easy, so that you don't need to touch that all if you don't want to.
Okay. Then you mentioned about this pop-up display that it's possible to adjust the number of icons and what type of icons there are. Could you please show quickly where that can be done?
Yeah, so open the auto clicker menu, and maybe I will make this bigger. And here are the features on the left side that I'm using now.
So the gray ones or marked ones are those that are in use?
These actually are displayed when the first pop-up shows. So if I go to here, I will show it. So these are the 5 that shows. And if you move to this side, then these are the on the left side are the upper ones. And if you go to the other side of the so all these are actually in use, but in the different pages.
Okay.
So you can scroll the pages. And if you want to add, for example, if I want to use, for example, show desktop feature, I just click it from right side and move it to the left side.
Okay.
And then I can remove it also if I don't want to use the browser, for example. I will just move it from here. And I can take it away and then, for example, add the show desktop here.
Is there a limit how many features or functions I can select?
Actually, I don't know exactly if there's a limit. Probably not actually. You can have lots of, but it's of course the usage is easier when you have a limited amount of those. If you want to use this small menu, so that the 5, you think that 5 is too much or too few, then go to the advanced, move to the end, and here are the displayed actions. So this the 5 is the amount of zone, and this is the start index. So if I want to move the index, I can move it here.
Okay.
Where it starts. So these are the settings for the menu.
Okay.
And yeah.
Then what about this auto click function, and including the toggle default click? How does that work?
Yeah. So you mean this toggle default click? So yes. Now I can show it. So I will go this way. So now when I have it on, so now it's on. I can go to the menu and see it again. Now it's on. So it means that when I go to the, for example, I want to click this. So if I go here and move, so it will do the click automatically. Okay. So I don't need to do any settings.
Okay, so you don't have to select from the pop-up.
Yeah. Okay. So if I go to this and I just wait, it will do the click. So it's left click only. So if you want to select something, you just go and stay still, and then it will do the click there automatically.
Okay.
And you can turn it off on the menu. So if I go here and it doesn't select.
Okay. And what about if I want to rest or want to put the pop-up menu on sleep? How to do that?
Yeah. So of course this might be if you're doing something that you need to read the text and then you move the head and it will be there. You can select the sleep from here. So it goes to the upper screen, and when you want to wake it up again, it's here. And there's also option for the pick. You just move the head to the other side, left or right, and it will go to sleep. So it's just easy.
So I don't have to select anything, just move the cursor on left or right.
Yeah. So you just go to the other side and then it will do the sleep and it goes here. That's for the power user, so that if you're there reading the documents or anything, it's just left or right, and then you look at it, wait there, and then it will go to sleep.
Okay, that's great. And then what about the on-screen keyboard? What options are there?
So we have our own keyboard also. So that's the full screen keyboard, and settings. Actually, there was one question that you mentioned that about full screen. Yes. It's about that keyboard, and then you can use, of course, the on-screen keyboard from the Microsoft tool, which is possible. So I can actually show it. If I wake it up, I can open the notepad here, and then if I want to write something, I open the full screen keyboard,
H.
Here.
Hello. H. O.
And you see that there is also dictionary there. It's not perfect, but it will learn from your writing. So if you add something, then it will open and add all those words there. You can also use the keyboard that's here. So you can use for example, this is from Windows 11. So you can oh, I didn't select actually anything.
Yeah, maybe
it's better to actually do the hitting, the clicking here. If I go and select, and you can use this also.
good. And was it so that this is only available on Windows 11? If you want to use Quha Dwell to select on the on-screen keyboard.
It works differently on Windows 10. Yeah, that's true. I actually noticed that it works better in Windows 11. So you can use the crosshair on top of keyboard. On other like Windows 10, I actually on my computer it actually does not work with this crosshair.
Yeah.
You can use the clicking, but it doesn't work that well.
Okay.
So I was actually surprised that it works on Windows 11 better, at least for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, can I interrupt for a second? I noticed that there is a question in the chat, so I can also read it. Hi Jussi and Tapio, how can you set the time, how long the window stays open to give the user the time to make a choice? So is it possible to set the time for how long the window stays open? I assume that this is mentioned the instant dwell menu.
Yeah, it is there. So here's actually the advanced settings and maybe is Janne is actually online. Yes, Janne is there. So
yes,
Janne,
hello.
Probably tell a little bit about these wait times, but you maybe first answer to Alex's question. So are you there, Janne?
Yes, just a moment. I'm opening it myself. Yes, most likely what you are after is the wait time slider. It tells how fast you need to all the waits. The initial dwell, how long you need to stay still before the menu opens, and after that, how long you need to stay on the menu before the selection is made. It's the first slider in the advanced menu.
I'm showing here. So if I change the time 5 seconds, of course,
Yeah. It's much slower.
Yeah. So that wait time actually is different. So that the wait time is something that if you also sleep time, you see that all these are slow, but if you want to make it sleep, it's quicker. So it has been done. Some user actually asked it to be that is it possible to make it quicker, and yeah, it is.
Okay. Now when you open the advanced menu, so are there some parameters that we should be aware of?
Maybe the repeat time is something that you might use. The repeat means there are some features on the menu that can be repeated, like for example the mouse scroll up and down.
Yeah.
I can show how it works. So I will go here and change the application to browser. Oh. I will stay still, and then when the program is there, I will just wait. Now I'm here on the browser, and if I go to the scroll up and down, you just wait there, and this is the repeat time, for example. So if you want to use the mouse scrolling with the long documents or web pages, you can make this maybe make a little bit faster. So you can repeat it, scroll up, down, and then of course when you are just stay still, then just go to sleep.
Okay.
This is one thing probably that you might want to change there.
Okay. And what about the full screen settings? Can you explain those? Something that we have received quite many questions. So.
Okay, I can show it the actual. Here. So if I go to the full screen settings, I'll probably go to sleep. So these are actually the settings for the keyboard that I showed just a while ago. So basically, this is only for the dictionaries, the words, the vocabulary, so that how it behaves. So how quickly it will learn from your writing, and how quickly it will forget what you have teach there. And then also the full screen settings. If you want to use different language, so if I go to the here, so you can use the different beside the language from the user interface, then you can change the used language from the keyboard also, and for the dictionary. So if you want to use other languages like Finnish or Swedish or whatever, so you can change it here. This is for the full screen. The full screen is only for the full screen keyboard. There's no other full screen settings for this software. So the colors, for example, here, this is for the pop-up window what comes here, and then full screen is for the keyboard that we just showed you. Okay. So I'm not a colorful really.
Yes. And what is this speech? What is it for?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is speech. So currently the speech on this version is used only for the keyboard. So when you go to the keyboard, so if you have got some problems with your eyes, you probably don't see so well, and you have a full screen keyboard, of course it's easier to click and select what there is, but when you select the key, it will say aloud what the key was pressed, and if you select from the character or the word list, the word, then it will say aloud the word, and when you press the right icon on upper left corner, then it will tell the whole sentence in the speech. So it's only for the making the usage of the full screen keyboard a little bit easier. Especially if you have some problems with your eyes, so that it's not that probably important for anyone or normal user, but for some visually impaired persons it might be useful.
Okay. Fine. Then. There was this one question that can you also use a switch together with Quha Dwell?
Good idea. It's not there yet, but it might be. Yeah. We discussed before this coffee. We discussed it a little bit, and it might be really interesting to use the switch. So it might be really good idea. We need to think about after the official part.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then now we could talk about how to get Quha Dwell software. So it can be downloaded from our webpage quha.com/support/downloads, and there is always the latest software version available. But after downloading the software, you need a license to start using the software. Either a demonstration license, those are available from us. Just send us an email or fill in the form on our webpage. But for all the end users who need kind of lifetime access for Quha Dwell, so those lifetime licenses are sold through our distributor network or through our resellers. And also a lifetime license is included in standard Zono 2 sales package. But then there are a lot of questions about the licensing. So Tapio, maybe you could explain how the licensing scheme works.
Yeah. So basically, when you get the license, if it's the full license,
Yes.
it will include 3 activation times. So activation time means when you install it to the computer, and you can switch it to the new computer, but it will eat the one installation time. And then you have actually 3 times to do that, and then after that, you cannot actually switch it to the new computer.
So it works on one computer at a time.
Yeah.
And when you install it on a new computer, the old installation is deactivated automatically.
Yes, it will be so that of course it works there but once you start the computer, it will terminate the previous installation, and then the new one is activated. So if you want to use it on a main computer, then install it there, and when you are changing the computer to the new one, you can reactivate or do the other installation, but it's limited amount, so it's not you cannot do it all the time.
Okay. And actually, we have received plenty of questions about the licenses. So maybe if we could take a closer look to some of these questions. So one is, how can I cancel the old activation to install Quha Dwell on a new computer?
You just install it, so it doesn't actually deactivate it automatically, but when you start an old computer, it has been deactivated. So probably it's easier for you to install it to the new computer and uninstall yourself for the old computer, because it might be that if you are there and you hit again the license button, you will eat up the switching of the license installations from the old computer. So always deinstall the old, because it might be that you made intentionally that you just eat up all the activation times.
Okay. Then a question that I use Quha Dwell on my laptop. Can I install and use Quha Dwell also on a second PC?
Not with one license, you need 2 licenses for that.
Okay. And then a question from one of our resellers, that if the customer activated the software before returning Quha Zono 2, can the key be resetted so we can resell it?
It's problem something that you can answer also, but it can be resetted, of course, by us. So it can be. So we can terminate the license from our server, so that if the customer just wants to use the software with some other solution and not pay you, that we can terminate the license from our server.
Yeah, I guess this is the case when customer has bought a Quha Zono 2, which includes the license, and then the customer decided to return the device. So
yeah, we can do that. It's not a problem. It doesn't take time. So we can terminate and maybe switch the license.
You just need the license code to do that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay. And next question actually you already answered, so we don't need to go through that. But then about the languages, so which languages currently are available?
Yeah, so I open actually the settings, so it's easier for everyone to see. So of course the English, French, German, Finnish, Swedish, Danish, Dutch. Those are the languages that are now there. I know that for some languages they are missing, for example, from the keyboard some keys. Was it Danish or Dutch? Anyway, we are working on that, improving that. So we will release new version at some point to add some missing features for these languages, and also we will add some new languages that we actually you just provide some translations for the new languages.
So how does it go if I want to get my language listed there. So what is the process?
Be happy. Okay, so basically it's so that you get if you are reseller in some country, so you have the information already. So we would just provide for example the English translation files to you, and you will just translate all these strings that are used in the UI and provide to us. And we can do of course the keyboard and also some kind of dictionary there. If you want to add some special text or something like that, you can also hand over those to us. So if you want to add your company name there or whatever, we can add those to the dictionaries and all this. So that's something that we can do, but you need to provide that information.
Okay, actually that was all I had, but now it would be time for your questions. So if any one of you have any questions or comments or anything else you want to say, so please speak loud. Okay, looks like we don't have any.
Yeah, I'm running out of coffee also, so.
Okay, but maybe Henna, could you briefly tell about the forthcoming webinars that we will?
Yes, just a second. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. Just a second. So, can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, good. So here's a reminder of the next webinar. So we have 2 more webinars coming up this year. So the next one is in just 2 weeks using Grid 3 with access methods, and we will have some special guests from Smartbox there. And then the last one also in November, adaptive technology as a service, and there we will also have a special guest, Fiona Still from Zytec. So welcome to these webinars. You can register on our events webpage, quha.com/events. So don't forget to join in.
Yes. Thank you, Henna.
Okay.
And anything else? Somebody has now something to ask or comment? Please do so, or otherwise we will get some more coffee to Tapio. Okay, so thank you everyone for participating our webinar. I hope and I'm quite confident that this gave you an idea what is Quha Dwell and what are the settings you can do and what are the different kind of possibilities there. So thank you, Tapio, for coming to Nokia to join us. And so we will have the next webinar on 2 weeks. See you there. And so thank you and have a nice rest of the week.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.